Today marks 1 year since the catastrophic wildfires that tore through parts of Southern California, including Altadena and the Pacific Palisades. Entire neighborhoods were reduced to ash. Families lost homes, businesses were destroyed, and communities are still rebuilding from the devastation. On this anniversary, Americans are remembering the bravery of first responders who put their lives on the line. Firefighters battled extreme heat, unpredictable winds, and dangerous terrain to stop the flames from spreading even further. Their courage saved countless lives, and their service continues to be recognized nationwide. Questions remain, however, about leadership during the crisis. Former President Donald Trump has repeatedly stated that federal action helped resolve water supply issues tied to firefighting efforts. Critics dispute the timing and impact of those claims, but supporters argue that decisive leadership, at any stage, matters when states face emergencies. As domestic issues continue, the Trump administration's foreign policy approach is again drawing attention. The former president has taken an aggressive stance on Venezuela, announcing plans involving Venezuelan oil assets. According to statements released by Trump, tens of millions of barrels of high-quality oil would be transferred to the United States, sold at market value, with proceeds managed under U.S. oversight. Supporters frame the move as a strategic win for American energy independence and leverage against authoritarian regimes. Critics, meanwhile, warn of ethical concerns and conflicts of interest, especially given the deep financial ties between the energy sector and U.S. elections. Venezuela is not a new focus for Trump. Long before politics, he had business interests tied to the country through the Miss Universe organization, which he owned starting in the 1990s. During that era, Venezuelan contestants dominated the competition, producing multiple winners crowned personally by Trump. One of those winners, Alicia Machado, later accused Trump of humiliating her over weight gain during her reign. Trump has denied using insulting language, but archived interviews confirm discussions about her weight and appearance. Supporters dismiss the controversy as politically motivated, while critics cite it as part of a larger pattern of behavior. On the international front, Trump has reignited debate over Greenland, suggesting the island is vital to U.S. national security. He has said that while purchasing Greenland would be preferable, the United States should not rule out other options if strategic interests are threatened. Some lawmakers have criticized the idea, but others point out that Greenland's location is critical for missile defense, Arctic security, and countering Russian and Chinese expansion. What often goes unmentioned is that the United States already operates under a 1951 agreement allowing broad military access across Greenland, raising questions about whether acquisition is even necessary. Despite campaign promises to avoid foreign entanglements, Trump's actions suggest a doctrine focused on strength, leverage, and American dominance. Allies describe it as realism. Opponents call it contradiction. To reassure skeptical conservatives, prominent voices have stepped forward to defend the administration's direction. Senator Lindsey Graham has argued that U.S. involvement in Venezuela is about restoring democracy through elections, not military occupation. He has emphasized that authoritarian leaders who defy American pressure will face consequences. Graham's support represents a dramatic shift from earlier years when he openly criticized Trump. The change reflects a broader realignment within the Republican Party, where loyalty to Trump now defines political survival. Back at home, tensions escalated following a deadly ICE operation in Minneapolis. A 37-year-old woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent during an enforcement action. Federal officials initially described the shooting as self-defense, stating the agent's life was in danger. Video footage of the incident has sparked outrage. Local leaders rejected the federal explanation, with the mayor of Minneapolis stating that the shooting was reckless and unjustified. He demanded that ICE halt operations in the city, escalating an already volatile debate over immigration enforcement and federal authority. Trump responded by defending the agent, arguing that law enforcement officers must be protected while doing their jobs. The case is now expected to move through the courts, where facts, not politics, will ultimately determine responsibility. In a rare policy move drawing mixed reactions, the administration announced an initiative targeting unhealthy processed foods. Officials acknowledged that decades of poor dietary guidance have contributed to America's health crisis and promised changes aimed at prevention. Skeptics question the sincerity of the effort, pointing to Trump's long-standing fondness for fast food. Supporters countered that results matter more than personal taste. The administration also unveiled updated alcohol guidelines through Dr. Mehmet Oz, now serving in a federal role. While encouraging moderation, Oz described alcohol as a social tool when used responsibly, adding that it should not be consumed in the morning, a remark that quickly went viral. Trump himself does not drink alcohol, a fact frequently highlighted by supporters. Still, questions about his stamina persist. Videos showing him appearing to nod off during meetings have circulated widely. Trump has dismissed the claims, stating he was simply blinking, not sleeping. As the nation reflects on disaster recovery, foreign policy risks, immigration enforcement, and public health, one thing is clear. The Trump era continues to dominate American politics, shaping debates at home and abroad, with consequences that are still unfolding.